My people, my people, my people, good evening. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to Munchibi Talks Politics. I am your girl, Munchibi. Welcome to this another Monday night where we meet and we talk and we discuss things that happened in our country. Now, as you come in, click on the like button and share the live. Share the live as you come in and click on the like button. Make them know someone Chibi is back. You live in a glass house, Mark Golden. Travis, good night. Share the live in the PNP WhatsApp group. Share the live in the family group. Share the live in the JLP group. Share the live in the independent group. Share the live all over the diaspora. Click on the like button. Let's go. PNP corruption, bank to bank. Bank to bank. Good night, Simone. Bank to back with the PNP corruption. MDL, they want to run country and they don't have a plan. The PNP don't have a plan, but they want to run country. Bank to bank. Bank to bank. Bank to bank, Mark Golden. Bank to bank, Marky Ginal. Bank to bank, Marky Ginal. Share the live, guys. Good night, Don Brown. Please share up the live, guys. One whole heap of scandal. Bank to bank. Bank to bank, Spice Girl. Bank to bank, PNP's corruption come down. Marky Ginal, bank to bank. Bank to bank. Share the live, guys. As soon as we get to 100 persons, we're going to start. When the song done. Run, Jamaica, run. Run, Jamaica, run. Marky G and in crew. Somebody call Mr. Ives for me for run a South Manchester. Wanna call Mr. Ives and tell him me I call him Deloitte. Somebody call Mr. Ives for run a South Manchester. Tell him Munchibi, call him. Somebody call Mr. Peter King from East Rural St. Andrew. He want to be the MP. You know, call Mr. Peter King for me. Good night, PB. You know, call Mr. Peter King from East Rural. Anybody have his number? Call him there for me. Call Peter King. Me not talk the one from the tape. Me talk the PNP one that we are trying to run for the seat of East Rural St. Andrew. I have a message for you, Mr. Peter King. Come here. Front of the class, Mr. Peter King. Come here. Good evening, labor rights, independence, and friends. Welcome to Munchibi Talks Politics. Welcome to this, our Monday edition of our program. Now, guys, all our topic tonight, we're going to take them from the headline because we had a very long weekend, a very productive weekend, a very active weekend. Both party was on the ground. Our prime minister was in the diaspora meeting and greeting and moving around with the patriotic Jamaicans. And as I said before last week, my prime minister was well accepted and well appreciated, and we're proud of our prime minister and shine over Florida, the man. Our prime minister go and good. Big up our prime minister. Now, guys, our prime minister wrote an article to the shithouse paper on the weekend. Who saw the article? Who read it? Yeah, man. Our prime minister's clear up little misinformation. Can you know, so our prime minister no baga, you know? One thing with our prime minister, Dr. the Honorable Andrew Michael Brogard Holness, him no baga. Him just take a little time out of busy schedule and clean up the little misinformation and little foolishness with Damian Crawford that go out with the Senate. Our prime minister set the record straight. Under the PNP administration, inflation go up to over 6,000. Under the PNP, them balloon the debt. Under the PNP, they stagnate the economy and the country never grow. Our prime minister put out the draft when you can go the chart, when you can go and go read the article, and he showed the people of Jamaica under the PNP what happened with inflation, what happened with our debt, what happened with unemployment, and under Andrew Michael Brogard Holness, unemployment is at the lowest it has ever been since 1962. You can't change facts, PNP, and you cannot rewrite history. You cannot change what the PNP do, cannot rub out. Under the 18.5 years of Percival Noel James Patterson, inflation rose to over 6,000%. Under Percival, 18 years. That is a fact. Under Percival, 18.5 years, unemployment rose to over 18%. The chart was there. Our prime minister now to kill up himself and beat up himself, you know. Our prime minister just took time out of his busy schedule over the weekend and sent an article to the shithouse paper and you can go and go read it. Now, guys, I want to start with the good news, Jamaica. I want to start with the good news. Our minister, Darrell Vaz, has told the people of Jamaica that since January to April 5th, the country has saved $90 million in fuel costs. The country saved $90 million in fuel costs since December to March to what we don't know, April 5th. Because the People's National Party under Percival Noel James Patterson built all the JUTC depots in PNP Garrison. It was a way for the PNP dons to make money. It was a feeding tree for the PNP dons in St. Catherine and the PNP don out in Rockfort. So since Darrell Vaz go in, Darrell Vaz mash the thermos and dash with all of the coffee ground. $90 million was saved, the people of Jamaica. We saved $90 million in the past 3 months on it because of the corruption that was happening at the PNP run JUTC. Remember, you know, the thief in PNP, the criminal organization known as the People's National Party. They make sure to place all the depots in PNP Garrison. All the depots. And where there would me go? And where me go with there? I don't want to tell a lie where me did I go, you know. And the driver drive past one of the depot. Oh, you know where me did I go? Me never graduation. You take a can of where the PNP put the depot. Right now the PNP Garrison. It was a way to funnel taxpayer resources to the Klansman gang. So because the Jamaica Labour Party has pumped more money in the Jamaica Constabulary Force, we have more than enough members so we can lend some to the JUTC. So the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the leadership at JUTC has shut down that pipeline to the Klansman gang. The Klansman gang is starving now under the Jamaica Labour Party. Remember, Mocha already go in and mash up the corruption they were in the go with at the man at the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation. Now the JUTC now, in collaboration with the JCF, now go in to Spanish Town and cut off the pipeline there. So $90 million the people of Jamaica saved because the PNP criminal never get a chance to thief the fuel. Now, under the leadership of Darrell Vaz, action man and action woman, the action team, the people of Jamaica can finally see that the JUTC is working for us. For the first time since inception, JUTC is operating the way it's supposed to operate. The thieving and the skullduggery is coming to an end. Stop 100%, but it is coming to an end. That we have to make sure that we do not elect the People's National Party. We have to make sure in Geneva that we do not put in back the People's National Party, because the PNP was using the JUTC as a feeding tree for the PNP criminals. So since Darrell Vaz got down there and clean house, since Darrell Vaz go in and clean house and start track the buses, and all of the buses where we used to turn off and go in at the garrison of the PNP garrison and leak out government resources, that is finished. That is finished, comrades. Go and look a real job. PNP people, go and find a real law-abiding job. The thieving is over at JUTC. And we want to big up Darrell Vaz, because the PNP never knows it could be done. The People's National Party, all them do are criticize. All them do are criticize. And find fault and find everything negative. Since Darrell Vaz went to the JUTC, we see changes right across the board. Now the drivers know say they are being watched. The drivers know say the government resources is not for them. As soon as you drive out the buses, the government have a tracker on the buses to track the buses when they come off of them route. So now for the first time, the people of Jamaica can say that we have saved $90 million and we're happy, and more saving is coming. Because reality is stepping in. Reality is fun. The PNP criminals that was at the JUTC collecting a check every fortnight without lifting their fingers, those days are over. And come September morning, when the 100 buses roll out, when the 100 electric buses roll out, and when the smart card roll out and we stop collecting money on the buses, me don't know what the PNP criminal organization are going to do. I don't know what the non-progressive elements known as the People's National Party is going to do. Because we know so una want work. We know so una like 9 to 5. We know so una like sweat off bro, eat bread. But come September morning, when the government roll out the 100 buses for the rural children and the 100 buses for JUTC buses for the adults, I don't know what the criminal organization known as the People's National Party going to do. Because no more free meal. Time come for the thieving stop. In a PNP time under Percival, everybody from Arnett Garden used to work at JUTC. Who now work at JUTC, I work at solid waste. Who now work at solid waste, I work at water commission. All of the government entities full up with PNP people collecting a check every Friday. They do not do anything. Under Percival time, all the depots were filled with PNP people who just, their name just there in a book. They have never worked a day in their lives. Darrell Vaz have now gone through the books and crossed off the criminal name. So now the criminal organization known as the People's National Party is desperate. They are desperate, and I will have you know, Peter, that the buses that are coming have cameras on them. The new buses that are coming have cameras on them and GPS system to track the buses. Cameras and GPS system will be on the new buses that are coming in the country. So if I'm me like Uno, PNP, eat a food people, go and do art and get a skill and go and look a real job. 90 million saved. 90 million saved. Because the government has finally got a hole on the thieving and the skullduggery that is going on at the PNP depots. All of the depots are in PNP garrison, but the feeding tree is the one in Spanish Town and the one in Rockfort. Those are the feeding tree for the People's National Party. That is finished with. And the government of Jamaica under Andrew Michael Holness and Darrell Vaz has purchased 100 buses, school buses for the children of Jamaica. 100 buses for the rural children of Jamaica. Time come for rural Pitney drive comfortable to school. Time come for rural children sit down in an AC. Time come for rural Pitney stop push for go in a bus. Stop sit down in a lap. Stop listening to Bugu Yaga music in a bus. And I have a suggestion for the government. When the buses driving, no pub, no reggae music and no Bugu Yaga music should be played in the school bus. No Bugu Yaga music, no cartel, no nothing. None of those loud music should be played in the school bus. And any driver caught doing that should be terminated on spot. If you don't want something to play in the bus, play PBCJ or JIS. If you don't want something to play in the bus, play PBCJ or JIS. No CD with no loud music, not even gospel, because we don't start off with gospel, and when we now look, we don't start play cartel. None of that. None of that. Play PBCJ or JIS. Something informative so the children can learn. No music. 100 buses for the children of Jamaica, for the children in rural Jamaica. For the first time since 1962, poor people Pitney can wake up. You don't have to worry for when you come off of the hill, your foot muddy and you step up in a... Poor people Pitney can clean their shoes and nice step up in our school, but nobody now step on their foot. Nobody now push them on the back. No taxi man now tell us me now carry no schoolers. No taxi man now say look for when school over one of the day. No taxi man now lap up no five Pitney in the back seat. Look here, Jamaica. Who remember that it was the People's National Party under Percival that gave the bus drivers permission to carry 7 children at the back of the bus? Who remember that it was Percival administration that gave the taxi man to count 2 Pitney as one? Tell me if I lie, me I tell guys. Tell me if I lie, me I tell Jamaica. Who remembered that it was under Percival, Noel, James, Pattison, taxi man start count 2 children as one. Because they couldn't find the money to give the taxi man them no increase. And then couldn't tell the taxi man them to increase the salary because they couldn't find the money to pay public sector workers. So they told the taxi man to count 1 pitney as 2. That's the PNP. When the PNP is in government, these are the things that the PNP doesn't know. When they're in an opposition, them have all the answers. Know that the PNP is in opposition. The PNP have all the answers as it relates to rural children. The PNP told the bus drivers and the taxi drivers to count 1 pitney as 2 because they could not allow the taxi drivers to raise the taxi fare because they couldn't raise the income for the people them. So pitney used to have a lap up. Me remember when me go to school, a 7 away in the back of the vehicle, and when my daughter go to school, a 5 in a taxi. The People's National Party created that culture. Sit down in a lap culture was created by the People's National Party. So now when you hear them come, like them have all the answers and them have all the solutions, we need to remind them of these things. We need to remind the People's National Party that lewd, indecent languages started under the People's National Party. Tinted buses started under the People's National Party. Graffiti on buses started under the People's National Party. They turned a blind eye to it. They turned a blind eye to that culture. That is why when Percival saw the decay in combat values and attitude, when it was too late, the horse already left the stable. It was too late. When you go in a bus from downtown to Spanish Town Road, when you go to Stats or you go to Tivoli or anyone in the school out there, so the type of music that were being played in the bus started under the People's National Party. The coaster buses we used to dilly and dally on the road from downtown to Crossroad, that started on the People's National Party. The decay in society started under the People's National Party. Now all of a sudden now, they have all the answers. All of a sudden now, Marky, Ginal and his team have all the answers. What about in the 18.5 years of Percival, Noel, James, Pattison, when every minibus have in a sound system? From Crossroad to Seaview to Waterhouse, all the little minibus them have in a sound system, and the people them sit down and a wait on those special vehicle where you can dance and wind up. That started under the People's National Party. No panty day in school started under the People's National Party. Cut out your pocket in your uniform started under the People's National Party. The decay in society started under Percival, Noel, James, Pattison. Now all of a sudden they created the problems, and now they want to tell the people of Jamaica that they have the answers. This government under Andrew Michael Holness is fixing the problem that the People's National Party created. This government has already purchased 100 school buses for the rural children. And in these buses, the children will not hear not one single cartel, not one single skeng, not one single skillibang, not one single spice. Order will be in these buses. Thanks to Andrew Michael Holness. $90 million saved by the people of Jamaica because of Darrell Vass' policy, turning off the pipe to Klansman gang, turning on the supply of endless government resources to Klansman gang. $90 million saved. Now, the People's National Party, Jamaica, the People's National Party, under the leadership of Marky Ginal and Dayton Campbell, came to South Manchester on the weekend, Sunday. Uno call Mr. Ives, see me there, please. Somebody call Mr. Ives, make a give him a pep talk there. Uno call Mr. Ives there. Because I want to know if this PNP is brand new. The People's National Party has been in charge of South Manchester for 40 years. For 40 years, South Manchester has been under the leadership of the People's National Party. Now, Miss here the PNP in South Manchester, Jamaica. They come to sell Peter Bunting, Rolling Stone gather no mass, who rode a run away from Central, going at South now. Telling the farmers in South Manchester that when the PNP form government, they will provide subsidy for equipment for the farmers to work with. Now, my question to Dayton Campbell and the PNP, the amount of things where the PNP are promised free, how are we going to pay for all these things? How will the People's National Party pay for all of these free things that the PNP is promising the country? How will the PNP pay for all these things, all these sweet in a mouth and bitter in a belly promises that the PNP is promising the farmers? Subsidy on equipment. Plus, them are going to bill how much storage. Plus, they're gonna use the farmers in the rural areas. No, get me wrong, you know, guys. Nothing is wrong with the policies, the promises, you know. But how will they be paid for? Because if you're gonna buy equipment from China to bring into Jamaica to give to the farmers, tractors and all type of equipment where they need to plow up their land, somebody has to pay for it. China not give it free. China will not be giving us these tractors and all of these equipment that the PNP is promising the farmers in South Manchester. Somebody will have to pay for them. Where will the money come from? That is why I'm calling on Mr. Ives tonight to go house to house and remind the people of South Manchester that the People's National Party had this constituency for 40 years. Why didn't they bring in these equipment under Percival Noel James Pattison? When Mark Stewart was there, why didn't they bring in these equipment? When the other brother, them with them name, was there, why they never bring in this equipment? All these grand ideas that the PNP have now for the farmers, where was these ideas under Percival? When Mr. Peart was there, why didn't they do this for the farmers? These are not brand new farmers. These farmers have been farming from Percival time. Why didn't the PNP buy equipment for you? And another thing, the PNP is promising to dig wells and dams to store water for the farmers. Where will the water come from for the dams and the wells? Because the river not there, Manchester. This government has invested over $400 billion in the Greater Mandeville Water Project. This government has invested over $200 billion in the Pedro Plain water project in St. Elizabeth. We already doing the work to give water to the people of St. Elizabeth and Manchester. Do not be fooled by the promises of the People's National Party. And the people in South Manchester who fight out Mr. Chin are hoping to walk door to door and remind the people that it was the PNP that was in charge of South Manchester for 40 years. I hope when I walk around the people who work with Mr. Ives and remind the people of South Manchester that when Mr. Peart was there, when Mark Stewart was there, nothing was done for the farmers. They didn't bring in any equipment. They didn't build any dam. They didn't help with any farming resources. Where will the money come from to do it now? Why is Peter Bunting leaving Central and migrating to South Manchester? Why don't Peter Bunting bring all these great promises to Central? What is so special about South? Tell Peter Bunting, pack in Dulcinea and come back to Central. We have farmers in Central as well. I'm here, Dayton Campbell. I order them to go back to the Michael Manley policies of building. When I said them go build terracing farm, I don't remember the way you say. When you hear what Dayton say, I go back to Michael Manley policies. Now, I want to ask you people in South Manchester and the wider Jamaica something. Why is the PNP going back to Michael Manley policies in 2025? Remember, Michael Manley stepped down and gave it to PJ Patterson. Why didn't Percival continue with Michael Manley policies? Think about it, South Manchester. Let us talk. Pretend seminar about this green shirt. Let's reason sensibly. Dayton Campbell is now telling you guys that 2025 market general government will go back to Michael Manley policies as it relates to farming. Why didn't Percival stay stuck with Michael Manley policies when he took over in 1989? In 1992, why did Percival stray away from Michael Manley policy? Why nobody never asked Dayton that? Under the 18.5 years of Percival, when he had Peart, and he had Stewart, and he had all the other one them before me born, why did you guys stray away from Michael Manley policies? They were good. Why did Percival not build them up and enhance them? Why? People of South Manchester, do not be fooled. The reason why Peter Bunting won that safe seat, according to him, is because he don't want to do anything. He wants to win that seat and then go to Kingston and relax and out and stunting. Same thing that he did in Central Manchester. Peter Bunting wants a seat where he don't have to lift a finger. Peter Bunting want a seat when not have to do no work. That's why him not come back as Central, because him know say him have to come down here and come work, because the people of Central don't want no more Liam Duck MP. So no call Mr. Ives to me tonight and tell Mr. Ives say me Munchibi call him. The people of South Manchester, Uno say Mr. Chin na work. I don't want him. I want to get rid of him. That is for no choice. Now I expect you guys to go out in the highway and the byways and remind the people of South Manchester that this is the People's National Party who had that constituency for over 40 years. Michael Manley dead for 30 years now, and the PNP said I'm going to go back to Michael Manley policy in 2025. Why did Percival left those policies if they were so good? Why did Percival abandon them? Why did Percival abandon Michael Manley policies in the 90s? Ask yourself that question. And me hear Dayton Campbell tell the farmers them say, them are going to provide the farming food for the school. And that is all good and well, you know. That is all good and well. So if the government of Jamaica is going to take all the farm produce from the farmers, that means to say the government is going to use our tax dollar to buy the equipment for the farmers, to give them free seed, to give them water, and turn around and buy back the product from them. You hear the PNP? You hear the PNP? So based on the policy of the PNP, you know, they give Jamaica 2 years for bankrupt and go back to the IMF. Because basically, the state is going to be responsible for every single area. The state will be responsible for the farming. The state will be responsible for education. The state will be responsible to provide housing for people. And the state will be responsible for every single thing. Where will the money come from for all these subsidies? This is not Cuba. This is not Cuba. What is wrong with the People's National Party and the socialist policy? It never worked in Cuba. It never worked in Venezuela. And it will not work in Jamaica. The handout policy and the policy where the state pay for everything, that will not work. It never worked in Cuba. It never worked in Venezuela. It will not work in Jamaica. The government cannot be the person who has subsidized the entire country. The PNP said the government are going to give a free land and free house to public sector workers. The government are going to give a free food and free vehicle to the children. Free education as well. Free health care. Subsidies for farmers. Where will the money come from? Venezuela, who has the highest deposit of oil, them could not run a socialist program. How will Jamaica pay for all these things? Ask yourself the question, Jamaica, where will the money come from? Remember, we don't have no oil, and even country we have oil cannot do it. We need to reject the People's National Party. The PNP don't believe to teach a man to fish so the man can fish for the rest of his life. The PNP is telling the farmers that the government will help them with the seeds. The government will help them will give them, not help, the government will give them the seeds. The government will give them the fertilizers. The government will give them water. The government will turn around and buy back the produce from them. How will that work? This is the same government. This is the same government that will give free education and free health care. This is the same government that will give free housing. And I tell you this, in Jamaica. I have to give the PNP props, You see, each time they go in one constituency, then change their story just to get vote. Each time the PNP move to a constituency, then promises change to fit the people them who them talk to. Mr. Ives, please go to the farmers in the constituency and tell them, remind them that under the People's National Party, they could not get the job done. Under the People's National Party, they have done absolutely nothing for the farmers in South Manchester. They have done absolutely nothing for the farmers in St. Elizabeth. We cannot trust them. We cannot trust the People's National Party. Now, another thing before we come off of the PNP run South. Who heard when Dayton Campbell said, when the PNP form government, anybody who is caught stealing people farm produce or people goat or anything, pre-dial larceny, they will be charged under the Proceeding of Crime Act. Who hear him? Who heard the poor people government? Who hear the poor people party threatening to throw people in charge people and take away all of what they own if them thief people go? Don't get me wrong, you know, guys. Me not like thief, you know. And if you thief people go, you teach people go, you should be all accountable. But remember this, rich people not thief people goat. Rich people not thief people cow. Rich people not broken a people farm and cut down people cabbage. A poor people. And remember, the PNP is the poor people government. Remember, the PNP is the poor people government. And remember, when the PNP farm government, they're going to move all the fines from the Road Traffic Act, and people will be able to drive around at no cost, whatever them break the law or not. Because remember, the PNP criticized the government for a projection in how much money they're going to collect from the Road Traffic Act. Remember, they criticized the government. So when the PNP farm government, I assume that they're going to move all those fines and people don't have to worry when they break the law. So how is this poor people government who love poor people? And as a matter of fact, there should be nobody stealing anything under the PNP, because milk and honey will be flowing in the streets of Jamaica under the People's National Party. So nobody should be stealing anybody goat and anybody cow. Nobody not supposed to cut nobody cabbage, because it will be milk and honey lining the streets of Jamaica. Remember, you know? Remember, people in Jamaica, when the PNP farm government, everything will be free. So there'll be no reason for anybody to steal anything. The PNP is joking. The PNP is playing games with the people of Jamaica. And the reject, known as Peter Bunting, gone around a South Manchester, gone tell the farmers that when them farm government, them are going to build dam and them are going to do Michael Manley this and Michael Manley that. Michael Manley died 30 years ago. Michael Manley dead. Make Michael Manley rest in hell, no man. Make Michael Manley rest in hell. What about Percival? What about Portia? How the rich back a Michael Manley, comrades? PNP say when them farm government, the people of South Manchester will be getting free tractors, free equipment to work on their farms. Plus, they're going to get free seed, free water, and any crop where they plant, the government will take it from them. Milk and honey lining the streets of Jamaica under the People's National Party. People of South Manchester, don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. Reject Peter Bunting and the People's National Party. Send back Peter Bunting to Central Manchester. Ask him where run left Central Manchester. Send him back round here to we. Now, another thing, people of Jamaica. The PNP keep them People's Parliament on Sunday. I didn't watch it. Part of the reason why I never get to watch it, because like gone. Anybody live in Central knows say Sunday like go away all the time and you know what could have caused it. But anyway, that's beside the point. But me hear one of the clippings from Nationwide since night when the PNP is saying that over 200,000 persons are not in the workforce. How much time we must tell the PNP say things and time has changed? How many times must we tell the PNP that the young people, especially the Gen Z, they're not really interested for work for people? Is the PNP blind or the PNP just out of touch? How many times must we point this out to the PNP, Juliet and Marky Jinan? The Gen Z do not want to work for people. They don't really cater to work the 9 to 5. The Gen Z want to be entrepreneurs. The Gen Z selling their ear product, selling them clothes. Some of them want car mart. Some of them want funeral home. The Gen Zs do not want to be working any 9 to 5. Who know they pan TikTok a beg? Them a scam and them a open them own business. Some of them are travel agents. Some of them have their own funeral home. The young people do not want to stuck in any 9 to 5. Dayton, Juliet, Marky, Jinal. The government cannot go take up the people and carry them up a heart if they do not want to go up there. The argument will not spread. But how many young people is not in the formal working sector and this and that. They do not want to work. The young people, them don't want farm. The young people, they don't want to go on a 9 to 5. They want to work for themselves. The young people are entrepreneurs. No government can't take up the young people them and carry them up a art, go give them no skill if they don't want to go up there. Art is free. The government is paying the young people to go to art and they still no want to go. No government cannot take them up and carry them up there. No PNP, no JLP, no PNPDP. The young people have other options. So the argument will not spread. Talk about all the young people, how much people that in the formal working and skilled worker, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you something, PNP, you're not out of touch. You guys are out of touch. The young people, the Gen Z, they don't really want to work for people. I tell you that. Some of them gonna call center. The one them wanna too bright. Then gonna fast food and security work. And the few of them, then gone up a art. The rest of them, they pan TikTok a beg. The rest of them a scam. And the other rest of them a sell for themselves. Some of them open them own ear salon. Some of them a do makeup. Some of them a do nails. Some of them a sell ear. Some of them have their own travel agent, their own car mart, their own funeral home. The young people do not want to be stuck in any godforsaken 9 to 5 job. That is the fact. And no government can force them to do it. So we don't need to go find something else to talk about PNP. We don't need to find something else to do. And another thing when I hear per nationwide, because as I said, guys, I did not listen the People's Parliament. Like go away and me to get distracted and get forget. Me hear the PNP talking about the PNP is going to invest in early childhood. Now, a very, very quick Google search, Jamaica. A very, very quick Google search and JIS. Here is the title of the article. Government aggressively promoting early childhood. Guess at which government said that was, guess at which government was aggressively promoting early childhood, and guess at which year? It is in JIS. Here is the headline. Government aggressively promoting early childhood. Who can tell me which government that? That was Maxine Henry Wilson in 2004. Want to hear that? In 2004, the then PNP government said that the government is aggressively promoting early childhood. Now, I'm not surprised. So somebody type in the chat and tell me what aggressively mean. What does aggressively mean, Jamaica? The PNP in 2005. And if me do a deeper check, me can find article from When Bertel Whiteman days, when the PNP has been talking about early childhood. The PNP has been talking about early childhood from Percival days. And the PNP has done nothing to improve early childhood because they did not have the money. The PNP did not have the money under Percival to invest in early childhood. I spoke about this before, but you don't know me have to repeat myself because the PNP always have put me back to repeat myself. The PNP under Percival did not have the money to invest in early childhood. It was the churches that were running early childhood in a Percival time. It was the sister them at church, Sister Bloom and Sister Green was keeping basic school and teaching Bible verse. The government of Jamaica under Percival Noel James Patterson did not have the money to invest in early childhood. Now here is Maxine Henry Wilson, non-performing failure. Here are Minister of Education, Youth and Culture, Maxine Henry Wilson, has said that the government was aggressively promoting early childhood education and development as part of its policy to improve the quality of education in the island. You hear that? From 2004. Then convene a committee, then do much research. Nothing came of it because the People's National Party did not have the money to invest in early childhood. The PNP was stealing the money. They never have the money. The PNP did not build not one early childhood institution under the 18.5 years of Percival Noel James Patterson. The Early Childhood Commission never come in place until 2008 under Bruce Golding. The Early Childhood Commission was formed under Andrew Michael Holness when the early childhood school had to be certified and the teachers had to be qualified. That started under Andrew Michael Holness when he was the Minister of Education. Maxine Henry Wilson had no clue. She was clueless. In 2004, this article, the then government of Percival spent millions of dollars to put some PNP people on a committee to set them out to research because you don't know what's your PNP people. Can remember Aluna Samba said, we formed the committee and we made sure to fill them with PNP people because we have an agenda. So in 2004, according to Maxine Henry Wilson, the government formed a committee to do a research. And after the committee done and then with tax dollar, nothing came of it. It was when Andrew Michael Holness and Bruce Golding won the election, they took this very same information and result from the committee and implement the Early Childhood Commission. Certify the schools and pump money into the schools and start paying the early childhood teachers. Andrew Holness did that. So when you hear the PNP, Juliad and Marky Jinal coming talk about early childhood, the PNP has always have beautiful speaking, but they want always no action, just bag them out. The PNP is the party, the great conceptualizers. That is the People's National Party, the Pipeline National Party. That is the PNP. They don't implement. They only promise. The People's National Party do not implement anything. They only set up committee with PNP people. So our Prime Minister in Florida the other day said the education sector need reform. Is correct. And the first thing we have to do is get rid of the JTA, which is the PNP union. They are the albatross around the people's neck. The Jamaica Teachers Association is the albatross around the Jamaican children's neck. All they want is salary increase, salary increase, salary increase. They do not want to do anything else. 2004, Maxine Henry Wilson, Farmer Committee, aggressively tackling early childhood. Nothing came of that. So when you hear Joe Layard and Marky G coming talking about early childhood, ask them the question. If they had started the process under the 18 and a half years of Percival, when Bruce Golding won the election, we could have taken the baton and run with it. And when Lucretia won in 2012, she would have continued and we would be far advanced now. But Percival never cared about that. Percival never cared about that. All Percival and Omar cared about was lining their pocket with sweetheart deals. So what is the PNP coming now with early childhood when this government has pumped over $1 trillion in the education sector since 2016? And a lack of money made the education system cannot reform, is the PNP teacher them who's stumbling block, stand in the way of the reform. Everything the government suggests, the PNP teacher them tear it down. The Pattison report, the PNP teacher them now look on it. Everything that the government suggests, the PNP teacher single-handedly block it. All them want is money, money, money. That is the reform that the education system need. And no amount of money thrown in that sector will help if we don't have the people willing to move the needle. No amount of money that any government throw in that bottomless pit will make a difference if the teacher them not change their ways. What is the PNP coming with now? This government is actively investing in early childhood. Every school is now certified under the Early Childhood Commission. Every teachers are being trained and paid by the government, even church school, even Adventist school, even Catholic schools. All those early childhood teachers, once them register under the Early Childhood Commission, the government is paying them. And if they want proper salary, they need to go on to the teachers' college, go get them education, go get them degree. All the teachers, good night Camille, that are at the early childhood school now are being paid by the government of Jamaica. Even the schools that are run by churches, even the schools that are run by Adventist school, and that is a fact. The government is now paying early childhood teachers. That has never happened under the 18 and a half years of Percival, Noel, James, Pattison. The PNP has done absolutely nothing for early childhood. And at PNP time, anybody can get a little old building and put the word school and open up school with no water, pit tiling, no under Andrew Michael oldness. When you put up yourself, so you're going to open a school, the government sending people from Ministry of Education to go and check. You have to have certain things in place. Proper ventilation, proper space for the kids, proper bathroom facilities, water, and everything has to be there for you to open a school. Any man can just open one little corner and talk about a school again. That is what was happening under the People's National Party. That's why the PNP woman down at Clarendon upset with Andrew Owens because the government closed down her corner school which she did keep. She can't even read and write. All of the PNP little corner school them with the dunce teacher them who couldn't pass A from B. The government closed down those schools and say, go to Heart and get certified. And the PNP, anybody can just open up the veranda and call it school. Those days are over. So when you hear the PNP talking about early childhood, the PNP have absolutely nothing to offer. Because I went to school under the PNP time and my school was on a church property. And nobody from the Ministry of Education came there. We had pit tile it. No, me for the add running water. I don't want to tell a lie. But nobody from the ministry came there. And in 2008, when Bruce Gordon won the election, the Ministry of Education calling all the teachers and say, go and go get certified, or the Ministry of Education will close down those schools. And they had to go to art and get the level 1 and level 2. Some of them went to teachers college and get properly certified. And the schools, the teachers had to have them chart put up. They have to have the nap area put up. They have to have running water. They have to have proper areas for the kids to play, jungle gym and everything for the kids to play. Those things were not in place under Percival. Jamaica people, do not be tricked by the People's National Party coming with them beautiful speaking. We that went to school under Percival time knew how the system was and knew what we had to encounter. We see the difference. We see the growth. Do not be tricked talking about early childhood. Maxine Henry Wilson in 2004 said the government is aggressively promoting early childhood education. What happened to that aggression? What happened to that aggression, PNP? Do not be distracted, Jamaican people. Do not be distracted. Good night, my translator. The People's National Party did nothing for early childhood. It was the churches who had to set up schools to help in the community. And now under Andrew Michael Holness, even the canteens have to have now every early childhood have to be cooking a hot meal for the children now. Nobody can work in school if they don't have no canteen. If you don't have a canteen, you can't work in the early childhood school because the Ministry of Education said the kids must get a hot meal at their time. And the PNP time, that was not in place. So do not be fooled by the People's National Party. Run with Dayton Campbell, run with Juliet Robinson, and run with Marky Ginal. Marky Ginal is a con man. His asset is hidden away in a foreign trust. Marky Ginal need to bring back his asset in the country and start paying tax. Marky Ginal need to tell the people of Jamaica why the government of Omar Davis pumped $80 million in a bank for him and Peter Bunting. Marky Ginal need to tell the people of Jamaica about the sweetheart deal that him and Peter Bunting got from Omar Davis. That is what Marky Ginal need to tell the people of Jamaica. He was the financial engineer with Omar Davis. 40,000 businesses went under Marky Ginal and Omar Davis. We have to reject the People's National Party. Now, guys, another thing. Crime is down 37%. That is good news. I hear Marky Ginal this morning, Pan Smile Jamaica, talking about how the government was doing state of emergency and that wasn't helping with the crime. Marky Ginal, have you no shame? Have you no shame, Marky Ginal? Puss broke coconut in your eye. The strategy that the government was using 2 years ago, that is the same strategy the government is doing now. The government is still using states of emergency. The government is still using Zozo. Nothing has changed. A shame, I'm not shame, Marky Ginal. Commissioner Blake is still bringing out the same mandate of Commissioner Anderson. It's the same thing. The only difference now, Marky Ginal, is that the police are more equipped. The police have more resources. The police have more technology. The police have better morals. The police can fight crime effectively. And the difference now, the criminals are in hiding because for the first time since 1962, the criminals are afraid of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. For the first time since 1962, the Jamaica Constabulary Force have the criminal running up and down like chicken without head. That never happened under Percival. You know, since the criminal come out 2 days ago, go shoot up St. James. Look what happened to them since night. Look what happened to them since night. Dr. Chang said to the police, go for them. Judge are their maker. And you see what they meet since night? They meet their maker. Don't play with the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Don't play with the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Then push out their head last week and shoot most of 7 people. And the Jamaica Constabulary Force go for them since night. Judge are the maker. The big Dan from down at Grangeville get shub out. The Jamaica Constabulary Force is more equipped, more intelligence gathering. No more Dan can call the police station and talk about, oh, I'm a brethren work there. So the JCF change up their strategy. No more Dan no have no more friend in the police station. All of the criminal police, them that was feeding information to the Dans, them get shub out, them get sent a Boko and all up in the rural part of Jamaica go work. All of the police, them who are friend with Dans, then get lost in the wilderness. Then go to a country police station, go live water in a bucket. The Jamaica Constabulary Force, for the first time since 1962, have the support of a government who provide the resources for them and give them what they need to do them work. The Jamaica Constabulary Force, for the first time, have a minister when I call them and tell them what to do. We allow Dr. Blake to do his job. That is the difference, Marky Ginal. That is the difference. And what burn you, Marky Ginal, is because the PNP cannot campaign on crime. The People's National Party cannot campaign on crime because crime is down. 37% crime is down. And when crime was up, you know, criticize Dr. Chang, oh, Dr. Chang asleep. Oh, and wholeness sleep with windows and door open. Oh, this, oh, that. And for the first time, the PNP cannot campaign on crime. So the PNP now have nothing to campaign on. Me see again, Dr. Paisan. Hey, Jamaica. You know, look, Dr. Paisan, why me not know? I want Dr. Paisan write it. You know, see Dr. Paisan again and make news. Talk about the government spend $31 million to buy a drill for whatever. Dr. Paisan, the government of Jamaica and the Minister Tufton do not run the hospital. If the CEO want buy drill for $400 million, that's the CEO prerogative. It is not for Dr. Tufton to call the CEO and ask him how much for the drill. That is the difference with the PNP and the JLP, no, Dr. Paisan. When the minister hear from the sector and they say they want drill, or they want MRI machine, or they want CT scan machine, the government allow the people to do them work. Once the proper procurement guideline is followed, we no business. Look here, Dr. Paisan, you can't have it both ways, you know. You can't ball say the health sector want equipment, and when the government buy the equipment, you say it buy too dear, you know. You cannot have it both ways, you know, Dr. Paisan. We should spare no cost to buy machines for our hospitals. When you say the hospitals want a machine, the government buy the machine. No, I say the machine too expensive. The government shouldn't buy it. What do you really want? What do you really want, Dr. Paisan? When the minister Hear from the CEO. As a matter of fact, when the permanent secretary, who are the spending officers in the ministry, hear from the CEO, say, look here, Cornwall Regional or KPH want one machine or one this and that. It is for the permanent secretary to do the due diligence and follow the proper procurement guideline to get the equipment. Minister Tufton now buy machine. Minister Tufton now run the department. What is wrong with you, Dr. Paizo? What can make problems so? First you say the hospital them closed down and Jamaican people are dead on the street. When not come off that and the hospital them are go open, the operating theater them are go open next week, you change your mouth now when you go come about oh government spend $31 million to buy drilling machine. So what? So what? We, the well-thinking taxpayers of Jamaica, want our government to spare no cost when they are buying equipment for our hospitals. We, the taxpayers of Jamaica, want our government to spare no cost when they are buying buses for our children. We, the people of Jamaica, want our government to spare no cost when they are spending our tax money for the upliftment of the people of Jamaica. I vex because the PNP man no get the contract for bringing the equipment. I vex because the PNP man never get the contract to bring in the equipment because anytime the government buy anything, is only PNP people alone want to eat food. Anything to do with government contract, only PNP people alone want to benefit. So not much of the PNP man get the contract to buy this equipment, you come out on a ball. And that's your problem in a Dr. Paizo, nothing else. Absolutely nothing else. Not much of no one PNP doctor man who you could have used to bring in the equipment and you know get the contract. Because remember, the PNP capitalize on all of those departments. During COVID, you know, During COVID, you know, Dr. Paizo. I want to bring in the gloves. I want to provide the oxygen. I want to provide the kit for the COVID test. I want to do everything. So the one little time you, Dr. Ivermectin, the one little time when the PNP doctor not get to bring in what equipment your ball, and uno alone want to eat food, you know, Dr. Paizo. And uno alone want to eat food. And a food no government in a power. And a PNP country. And I am not afraid to say that the business society and the Friends of the Jamaica Labour Party organization, you should get on yourself properly situated so you can benefit from government policies once it is the legal way. Nothing is wrong with that. Nothing is wrong with a person who is friendly to the Jamaica Labour Party get a government contract, because when the PNP is in government, only PNP people benefit from government. That is why Marky Ginal and Peter Bunting could have benefit from FinSac. That is why the PNP union man could have bring in the water trucks. That is why the PNP man could have benefit from Trafigura. When the PNP is in government, only PNP business people benefit. That is why Dr. Poison is crying. That is the only reason why Dr. Poison is crying. Nothing else. Talking about the government spend $31 million to buy one equipment for the hospital. So what? So what?